Welcome to the L.I.T Show. We are here to serve and uplift women from every background by empowering change spiritually, physically, mentally, and socially.
We hold to the belief that if you are willing to strengthen your spiritual life, then your physical, mental, and social strength will follow.
I'm Janie.
And I'm Britt.
And we are Lit. All right. So how was your week?
It was good.
Good.
Yeah, I stayed pretty busy. How about you?
Good.
Yeah.
I liked our workout we did earlier.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
And made us laugh.
Yeah, it did. We had our producer record some of our workout stuff because not only are we a podcast, but we also run a nonprofit workout group. It's called L.I.T, Ladies in Transformation, and we meet Tuesday and Thursday at 5:45 a.m. and every other Saturday at 6:30 a.m. and we work out, fellowship, pray, and it's where the physical part comes in.
Yep. I can't wait for the 5K.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Yeah, we're doing a 5K in October.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be so nice. And we're going to wear our colors and have tutus.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Me and my mom love doing stuff like that.
Yes, I know. I've seen some of your 5K stuff, the pictures and stuff.
That's our thing.
Did y'all do a color run?
Yes,
that
was
you did.
awesome.
I've always wanted to do one. I've never
so
done one.
Fun.
Oh.
All that powdery color stuff flew everywhere.
Yeah.
We were just like, this is wild.
And yours looked so perfect on you. It looked like you put it on yourself. I was like, did she get, what do you do? Like when you run by, they throw stuff at you?
Yeah. We threw it up right before we were about to run. Like,
so y'all get
at
powdered.
The start line.
Y'all get like paint it powdered up and then run?
Yeah, yeah.
Or
and then as we're
running,
we're getting it thrown at us. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, that is crazy.
Yeah.
I love that.
It came in these little bags. They just pop right open. It's like, yeah.
We should actually organize one of those runs.
We should. The next one.
That would be awesome, yeah. Because that would be really awesome. Mm-hmm. We need to get with the director, Becky, and see if she'll do it.
She'll do it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we have a fitness director. Her name is Becky, and all the questions, comments, answers that has to do with the fitness part of it. She'll answer. That has to do with the fitness part of it. That's who you would talk to about that. I mean, you could still talk to either one of us, but she's the one that's in charge.
She knows all the details. We actually go to her and be like, hey,
exactly.
They want to know this because we're like,
Yeah, she's the one that's definitely has a lot of information about it, doesn't she?
Yep.
Well, let's talk about when God moves. This is episode 12, and I'm excited to talk about it. Signs and characteristics of God's movement often is described as divine intervention. Divine intervention is an event that occurs when God actively involved in changing some situation in human affairs. A perfect example for this is parting of the Red Sea. In Exodus 14, when the Israelites were fleeing from Egypt, God intervened by parting the Red Sea, allowing them to escape from the Egyptian army. And I want to say it was Moses. Was that the person that parted the Red Sea?
Yeah, didn't he?
I'm pretty sure
he was the leader.
Yes, it was him. It was him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I thought it was Moses, but I was like, wait, was it Moses? But yeah, it is Moses.
I mean, God ultimately did it, but Moses was the leader.
Yeah. Well, he was he was the one that was moved by God to say, hey, we're going to run across here, because I can tell you that would be pretty scary to me.
Yeah, I imagine myself. When I read that story in the Bible, I imagine physically my body there.
Yeah. I do too. And dude, I would be running, probably tripping on whatever is at the bottom. Maybe a jellyfish might have accidentally stayed when he parted it. I don't know. A crab could be running across. I don't know what that would look like, because it's just so. Could you imagine that?
No.
Just parting it, and then as you're walking by, it's like an aquarium, seeing fish swimming beside you. I would be jetting, wouldn't you?
Yeah, trying to get across.
Because I'm like, God, I do trust you, but just in case.
Yeah.
And I think
that's why I think it's important to know how to swim, because you never know.
You never know. I always think about that when we go across the bridge. I mean,
Yeah, I
if it
almost
were to
feel like
fall or
we should know as humans how to swim because you
yeah,
never know.
yeah, you just don't.
Yeah, I'm glad my mom threw me in the deep end to
Yeah, it said
help
sink
me
or
learn.
swim. I love how you said to help me learn. That's how my mom taught all of us
Yeah.
to swim. We were swimming at our early age. I think 2 years old.
That's how I started learning.
Yeah.
I mean, I came up like a mermaid.
Yeah.
And these guys were at the swimming pool. I was really young. And I remember this. They were like cussing in a different language at my mom. And my mom was like, no, I'm trying to help her.
Yeah.
Leave her alone. Leave her alone.
They
They were
trying to
like,
save
no,
you.
you're drowning her. Like, no. And then I got mad at them. I was like, no, watch this. And just jumped in myself.
That's how I was.
I think I was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, my dad said I would swim and like all you could see is my butt in the air. And because I could only swim underwater, like with my head in the water, it would take me a minute to like get to the side of the pool. I would come up, like finally grab the side of the pool and just be like breathing so hard. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we went from partying to the Red Sea
to swimming. Because me and you probably would have been like, God, you don't have to part it. We'll swim it.
Yeah.
No problem. I'm glad God operates like that. He knows what his children can handle.
Yeah.
So
a sea is deep though, so that water had to have been like so high up on the edges.
I know.
Even if you did know how to swim, that's probably like you're not gonna survive that.
Yeah. I don't think you would have either. Did you get to see the Red Sea when you...
No, but I did get inside of the Dead Sea.
Oh, okay. Well,
which nothing can live in, right? Because it's full of salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild.
Does it mean nothing can live in there? My sister also went to Israel, and she got to swim in the Red Sea, in the Dead Sea, and she floated. She brought us back, like, bathing spa stuff.
Yeah, I got some stuff from there.
Yeah, from the
little store near there.
Yeah. And I don't know, she really, maybe because it was so long ago that she went, but I'm going to ask her more questions about it because that would be cool. We should actually go to her house and you guys can share your stories.
Yeah, that would
about
be
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
It was wild though because it was January when we went to Israel, and they told us you need to layer.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be in going to the deserts and stuff, and you're going to want to strip down. Because, I mean,
it was
when we got up to the Dead Sea, which we rode a camel too, by the way. Yeah, I rode a camel for the first time ever. His name was Pistachio.
Oh.
But
Did he spit? Do they spit?
No, he was domesticated. A nice camel. Like, let me kiss him on his face.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll have to show you the picture.
Yeah.
But anyways, when we got there, it was 85 degrees. And back in Jerusalem, it was like 40.
Oh.
It was cold. It was so wild.
How far apart were they?
We took a bus ride to there, and it was like a good hour and a half, I want to say, between the two places.
And they were that far off from temperature?
Yeah.
Holy
it was a whole different world.
I would picture
there.
Bethlehem snowing. The Dead Sea, I would picture would be like hot.
It was like a little ocean getaway. Like that was their beach. People would go there. They were out there. That was their vacation.
And they would swim in there.
The locals were in there. Yeah, it was wild to watch the children playing there and the.
Did you feel all the salt
and
you could feel that you were floating and stuff?
I didn't get it in all the way. I got it. Me and Mom got into like above our knees a little bit.
But could you feel like that it was floating?
Yeah, you could definitely. Yeah, the buoyancy of the water.
Yeah, I wonder what that would feel like.
Yeah, we didn't get in all the way.
I wonder if they have any seas like that anywhere else besides Israel.
The Dead Sea. I don't know about that. I don't think
like
so.
With so much salt in it, but nothing can live in it. So nothing's in it. Not
I
even
wanted
like
to
a crab.
A
hermit crab.
No, probably not. No. I wanted to take like a rock or something, and I was trying to like dig around in the sand to see if I could find something to take back.
Yeah.
And every time I thought it was a hard thing, like a solid piece that I could take back, it crumbled in my hand. Like nothing can survive.
So
there.
not even a rock.
No, I couldn't even get a rock. No.
Did they have seashells? No, I guess you
No.
wouldn't. If not,
No.
because shells are from live things, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a...
Wow, that's amazing.
I don't, they didn't really have anything like that. I mean, rocks can form rocks form seashells, so, but I didn't see any, because I would have taken one.
Yeah. Or were you allowed to just like take stones or rocks from when you were walking there, or?
Yeah, I took a couple of olives. We weren't allowed to, but I put it in my name tag on the back. And it got mashed, so there's like, I still have my name tag at home, and it's like a busted up olive on the paper or whatever with my name on it.
Yeah. So really, they didn't let you like walk around and then like pick up rocks to.
You shouldn't do that. No, it's not. No, you can't.
That is so like
especially
so awesome.
Like in the airports and stuff, they won't allow you to take anything.
I would just be in awe. I would be like, because God is.
Oh, you could feel the spirit
here,
as soon
like
as you got off the
walked.
out of the airplane. You could
when
feel it.
When my sister went, I didn't think about it as being such a huge deal as I do now. So it's kind of weird how, as you get older, you kind of grow in your faith, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I have a lot of grace for youth at church.
Mm-hmm.
Because
back then we didn't know as much.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. And now it's just, I can't even like, I would love to go. I couldn't imagine.
We should. We can.
Yeah.
On that trip, we were walking in line, and I overheard somebody say, "Hey," she was talking to somebody, and I overheard it. "Hey, we could work here if we wanted to for like 3 months, and they'll pay for us to work here." And I was like, "Oh man." So I've had dreams and visions of doing something like that. For 3 months.
I could branch out and open up a finance company there.
I just want to be where the plants are and just.
Yeah, but I do want to work. I don't think I could stay there for. I like to work.
Yeah, this was like down the line type thing. I don't know.
Like when you retire.
I just got a vision from it. I thought it would be tremendously.
Yeah.
Just life-changing. It was already life-changing being there, so I could have really, really, truly imagined myself doing that, hearing that they allow that.
Well, I hope you don't.
Yes.
Because
my mom hopes I don't either.
Yeah, I don't want you to be that far
my mom's
from
like,
me.
"No, ma'am."
I feel like 2 hours is far enough.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I feel like it would be awesome if you went next time and maybe led a group and then came back home.
I would. Yeah, that would be so cool.
Because we're sad. Well, not sad, but we're encouraging. But I know one of your very best friends is moving far. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me. I know that she's coming back in 6 months, though.
Yeah,
and we're going to talk every day. So I've kind of laid that to that.
Yeah,
and just,
gave it to God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I know it would be tough for me to be without you for that long.
Yeah. Same. I agree.
Yeah. Even 3 months sounds long.
That's a long time, 3 months. Yeah. I could either be in the garden there or maybe work in the gift shop or something.
Why are you still talking about it when
because
I'm telling you that I just said that?
Because I think I would just they
have garden shops here
being
and stuff,
there
and you
is
can still
just so amazing.
Yeah, but here you could pick up a rock and put it in your pocket, and there you have to be sneaky. So I mean,
yeah, it's different life there,
yeah,
especially these days.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well, some of the common signs and characteristics typically associated with God's movement in different situations: healing, nature, behavioral changes, positive changes in your behavior and character, such as overcoming addiction, embracing forgiveness, or turning away from a life of crime, which that's a big one for the CRCI recovery center, because you would never know how many people there have charges.
Yeah, that have done stuff in their past. They're
and some of them have done stuff, and that's why they're at a recovery center.
Yeah.
So and some people have done stuff because of drugs, and that's why they're at the recovery
Right.
center. So it's just amazing. Unexpected provision, receiving sources or support at the exact moment you need them. I have a perfect example. My husband, he had sinus surgery, and he really needed it done, and he was praying about it, and God sent two people and gave him money. And it was exactly the amount with those two people of how much he needed, including the amount that he had already had. So it's just such a blessing how God comes through like that.
Yeah, I was there that night that he received that gift, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's so amazing.
Yeah, you had no idea. He had no idea.
No. Yeah, and it made me emotional.
Yeah.
Guidance through prayer, visions and dreams. I know you've had those before. Receiving messages or guidance through vivid dreams or visions that provide clarity or direction. Peace in a crisis. Just feeling a sense of calm when something traumatic has happened. Confidence in your decision, having a strong, unwavering confidence. Conviction about a course of action believed to be guided by divine wisdom. I know one of mine, I was spoken over about after I got pregnant, and I had to be put on thyroid medicine, which was only a little bit, but so after I had the baby, they were like, okay, you don't have to take thyroid medicine. You're good. 9 months after, when she was 9 months old, so 9 months after being pregnant, my body, like, I wasn't able to lose weight. I was doing what I do, workout all the time, low carb, and I wasn't able to lose weight. So I went back, and then the doctor was like, well, your body's used to the 3.2 thyroid levels, and they were at 4.2. So he put me on a small dose, a very small dose. In fact, I remember when I told you about the dose that you were like, that's not anything. But it helped me get my levels back to where they needed to be in order for my metabolism to jumpstart. And, you know, after that medicine, it was crazy because
the weight started shedding off.
Yeah, it just started coming off. And the lady that spoke over me told me that I'm going to have to go take medicine. I'm going to have to be on medicine, and I might not be cool with that. Because I don't want to have to take medicine. I never have. I never want to.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. But I know now that sometimes you're going to have to, and you're just going to have to do it. So that was a big step, because she had told me that, and she didn't know me from anybody. But she just straight up told me, like, you're not going to be cool with it, but, you know, you're going to have to take some type of medicine because your blood work's going to come back, and it's going to be okay. Your blood work will, but they're still going to have you take medicine. It was crazy. She spoke that into my life, and then it literally happened, and I know that was God moving. So it's just amazing. Do you want to share your...
I mean, I think that's good that you look at it like that.
Yeah, thank you. It was tough.
I mean, because you were obedient in that, listening to that.
Yeah.
And it happened for you.
Yeah.
It had to have been God, right?
Yeah.
Should I read this part or
Yeah.
my story? Okay. This is a good part.
Yeah, that is.
If you can't beat fear, do it scared. And I can definitely attest to that. There's a lot of times I don't want to do something, but I'm gonna push fear out the door because, and sometimes I am scared to do it, but I need to do it.
Yeah.
God has not given you a spirit of fear. Fear will try to abort the mission and calling in your life. It is a weapon the enemy uses against us, and that's why I know that, and that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna let you make me feel fear. I'm gonna walk out even if I'm scared to just do it. It doesn't always feel good. In our flesh, we may feel doubt, fear, frustration, and discouragement. Fear can bring torment. It can keep you back from what God has called you to do. It chains you and binds you down. The Holy Spirit brings you power. He will bring you confidence and the boldness to be set free. It's only through Him that can set you free. It's a supernatural power. Leaving the results up to Him will lead you into the right direction, the bridge from the earth to heaven. God can give you the power through the pain. Jesus already knows that a storm is coming. We cannot be consumed with fear. Jesus walks on the things that worry us. Count all your trials and tribulations as joy.
Oh, I love that.
You're not going to be able to be moved by God until you just like let fear out the window.
Yeah.
Just sometimes he's not going to, he wants you to get through that fear to show you something.
Yeah.
Hence this podcast. Like,
Yeah.
I never would have thought in a million years I would even be behind a microphone in my whole life.
Yeah. And I know really, really good ones for you that actually have inspired me is leaving tough relationships.
Yeah.
You know.
That's another even harder.
Yeah. But, I mean, you're so brave about it.
Yeah, I felt like I had to be.
Yeah.
Because I've tried everything else. It didn't work.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
There's 3 types of people that come to the church.
Oh, I like this.
Me too. And we always need to make room in our hearts for these types of people. The first one is the spiritually blind, those who do not know Jesus. He will shrink when this happens. Evil will shrink when this happens. Hell will shrink when this happens. Things can get messy. God has not called us to run. We stand and ask the Lord to put all anxiety under our feet. When we have the Holy Spirit, we will have a sound mind. It gives us self-discipline and self-control, and to have good judgment, careful and rational thinking. We are made up from how we were raised, which can create patterns. God can reroute our hearts and minds, and our minds can be renewed out of all the patterns that can continue from your past, and we can be transformed and see things differently. We have to learn to lead and not react. People will respond to others' reactions. To change the trajectory of the room, our emotions have to be unwound and on God to fill your heart, to not be blind any longer. A spiritual legacy brings us a story to share to others and the generations to come, for the inheritance to their legacy as well. They're the stories to share with their children, and for those children to share them with their children, and so on. A legacy cannot die. How we choose to live can build our legacy to create morals and values to pass down to others in our life that are alive. How we live can only touch others, not what we say.
Oh, I like that.
We have to show people how we live. It's not always about what we say, because we're sinners.
Yes.
So we need to show that, like, we're living in a good life, you know, being the light. The number 2, the second type of person that in the church is the brokenhearted. To welcome anyone that is hurting inside, whether it is from church hurt or unworthiness, the depressed, angry, or sad. Moving closer and closer to God will help provide a firm foundation for the brokenhearted, period.
Oof. I like
Nobody else can take that foundation and, like, heal that heart. You can have people and friendships that will help, but, like, setting the foundation with God is the only way to really start that healing experience that you deserve.
Yeah.
We all deserve. So it's just finding the obedience to get there. And then there's the number 3, which are the builders, walking with Jesus and becoming a disciple for others. We are to live out the Bible. Are you ready? Can you steward it? You have to make room for his request. This is in Isaiah 54:2-3. We catch the fish and let Jesus clean them. God has put eternity in every person's heart. And this is Ecclesiastes 3:11. Did I say it good?
I think you did.
Yeah. I never can say that.
I'm not going to try to say it because I can't say it good.
Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastics.
Yeah, that. Okay. Non-believers have a strong argument as to why and looking for facts and just keep running from God, which is so exhausting.
Yes.
My word. I was so exhausted. This is what happened to me. And I'm going to share to you what happened with me because I got so exhausted.
Yeah.
God knew when I was depleted. When I had nothing more, I had made up a decision to seek more. God moved in a way for me that broke chains that was holding me back from what life He actually chose for me. I had been trying to lean on others and myself. The truth of the matter is that the day I walked into church and needed something so bad that I didn't even know what I needed, it had happened for me. He chose me. God worked through my pastor, and it spoke to me, and I had forgotten everything around me but this. The pastor said, and I will never forget this, which formed the largest shift in my spirit. You cannot play God's role. You cannot change or fix others. God does not like that. That is His job, not ours. I then realized I had been carrying everyone else's cross along and not my own. I decided to choose me finally. I had finally decided to take my own cross and continue on a path with Jesus alone, to follow Him because He is the only perfect love that I needed and what I was lacking in my life. God moved for me that day. That is the day He left the 99 sheep for me, and I will never be more grateful for His mercy over my life. Surrendering it all to Him because I didn't have His strength. He is strength. He said moved and that it is finished, and I could not resist Him any longer. I walked out a different person that day. I chose the obedience in that and moved towards a new lifestyle, to leave people behind, to leave all the places I had before that weren't building in my life, and to leave all the things behind that weren't going to help me grow any longer. He chose me, and I received that love in my heart that surpasses anything that had been going on in my life. I could not live in the grave that was holding me back anymore. He was asking me to get up and come out just like Lazarus, which was still bound up, wrapped in strips of linen. And then Jesus said for him to take off the grave clothes and let him go. Jesus wanted me to be a living testimony in my life and to be set free, and that is how God moved for me.
Wow. I like that a lot.
It's powerful.
Yeah. I love the part where you were saying that you can't fix others.
I was trying so hard.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying so hard to guide people, to help people grow, get help mentally, physically, emotionally. And it's crazy that I'm saying that right now, because in the past it didn't work, but now I'm here on this podcast, and that's what Lit is about.
Yeah.
Helping people grow physically, mentally, emotionally.
Yeah.
So God wanted to use me and us together in a different way. I was not going to be able to be here unless I had found God, period.
Yep.
It's not my job to convict others or change others, but it is my God to be it is for me to be a disciple for Him, to be a vessel for Him.
Yep.
And I have a story, so.
Yeah. I mean, you have a good story. You have a lot of good stories.
Thank you.
Or a lot of good truths. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, I'm just done hiding. I don't really.
Yeah.
Why am I hiding from it? It's not going to help me.
No. It's
just going to be like a gnat, like bugging me.
Yeah.
And me trying to slap it off my face. Over and
clapping
over.
Your hands in front of you.
It just keeps coming to me, and God keeps building my testimony more and more and more. And it comes out in these stories and different topics that we're talking about, and it's helping me grow in a lot of ways. And we're just getting started, so my word, there's no telling what will happen.
There's not.
Yeah. And I'm all for it.
Yeah. And like what you said about the churches, the 3 types of people, the churches, like, this is what bothers me so much is when I talk to people about churches and invite them to church and they don't want to go because they're saying that the church is full of hypocrites and stuff like that. Well, the sinners go to church, just like the unhealthy go to the gym, just like the sick go to the doctor. Amen. So I'm tired of people constantly saying the reason why they don't go to church is because there's fake people there. There's fake people there because they're trying to get help. You know, all of us have character defects. All of us have issues. We all need to get fed.
Yep.
And I encourage people to go to church.
I do too.
Listening online, that's good. I listened online my whole pregnancy. That's awesome. But step into a church. Be able to worship, have that music, be able to experience the whole thing. I know some people can't make it every Sunday. They have work. They're exhausted. They're tired. You know what you need for yourself. But I mean, go to church, you know?
Yeah, don't shoot it down until you've tried it.
Yeah. And if you see people there that are fake, know they're there to get help.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been through some stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of it's like people like to make excuses.
Yeah.
I mean, I see right through that.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. I know I've made a few why I didn't want to go. I mean,
we all do.
My whole pregnancy, I got up and went to work and put my feet up and worked, but I didn't want to go to church and sit. When I could have put my feet up, they wouldn't have cared. I made an excuse. I was like, yeah, I'm on bed rest. I'm not going to go to church.
I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good excuse.
Yeah, I would say so too, but I'm saying I still went to work, you know?
Yeah.
So I
feel like God knows you and God knows your heart,
Yeah.
and whatever you decide to do, He's going to be okay for you. There's no need in living in condemnation over that. But if you've never experienced salvation before, I think it is important to like just give it a chance. Like I had nothing left, so that's why I gave it a chance.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like no one, nothing. Like.
And from what your story is, you walked in the church and you felt touched immediately, like that.
Correct. Yeah. Like 100%. Yes. I was very welcomed.
Yeah.
And I felt conviction. I thought, my word, I asked my mom even that day, I said, did you talk to the pastor? Because how did he even know this? My mom was like, no, Britt.
Yeah.
Because that's how it made me feel. Like I was like convicted, like, I do this. I am a fixer. Why is it my job to try to fix somebody else's life? Yeah.
And I remember this time we were at Beach Assembly and Daniel was up on stage playing, and this guest speaker came in, and Daniel had been praying about like some job opportunities, and I remember that he was like, is there someone named Daniel in here? And Daniel's like, another guy goes to church with us, his name is Danny. So Daniel's like, everyone's like pointing at Daniel on stage, like, Daniel, it's you. Like, so Daniel's like, yeah, man, my name's Daniel. And he's like, the answer's no. And Daniel's been praying for this answer, and I was like, he only told one other person at this church this, and besides myself, like, I know, but no one else knew. And I'm like, did they tell him that? But that's God moving. Yeah. God moved through this person to tell Daniel, hey, be patient, be still. No, the answer's no. And it makes sense now why the answer's no. Because God had a different path for him. He had a whole different opportunity for him, which is amazing. But so recognizing God's movement in your life can be profound and deeply personal experience. How can you become more aware of God's presence in actions? Pray, read the Word, meditate on God, and reflect. I do a lot of reflecting. I reflect on arguments, on different situations, how I could have handled them better. We were just talking earlier about how we have like a recording in our head where we could go down different scenario paths and see which one's the best for us before we actually act on one.
Which is smart to do, I think.
Absolutely.
You're preparing yourself.
And you're walking, you're being Christ-like when you do stuff like that, because you're really sitting down thinking like, if I do this,
how would this tape play through for me?
Yeah, exactly. So that's a huge deal, which is amazing.
I think it's important to have elders around you too, to be able to go and talk to them about a decision that may be hard for you, or your parents or your therapist or your pastor, or whomever is above you that could help you.
Yeah.
That has already been blessed in ways that you haven't. That's the type of person that I want to talk to about big decisions.
Yeah, and to help you grow spiritually and strengthen your relationship with God, here are some things to consider. Acknowledge and accept Him. That's the biggest.
That's the biggest thing. You have. That's the first thing. There's.
Yeah. And
accept who He is.
Yeah, and I know that's huge. Another thing is discern and reflect. Spend time in reflection. Another one is act in faith, obey promptly, serve others. I know we're big on serving, and I mean that's a really
serving
big thing.
Others for me serves me.
Yeah, me too.
When I serve for others, I'm so filled up with joy.
Yeah, me too.
And I'll fall back on that day in my vision later on in life and thought, that felt so good.
Yes.
I needed that.
Yeah.
I needed to help those people. The smiles that you create just to be kind to someone.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
And then stay committed. This is a big one because so many people fall off the wagon. And that, I challenge everybody to stay committed. If you don't feel like doing it, a lot of times I don't feel like reading my Bible. I don't feel like doing a daily devotion. I don't feel like doing this, but I know it's going to help me when it's done. The same thing as a workout. I don't always feel like getting up and going to work out. But after I do, I feel so much better. And that's what the Word does for me. Remain faithful, stay committed to the path that you are on and that God's leads you. And then share your experiences with others. Testify like how you do all the time and how I do. Stay accountable. Reflect and learn. Journal. Keep a record of it. I know you journal a lot, and I
talk
just
to God
started journaling
in my journal.
Yeah, and I love that. Learn from the experiences. Reflect on what you have learned from this experience and how it has impacted your faith. I mean, all that is so big.
Yeah.
And, the one thing that we need to remember, like with God's movement, when He is moving in your life and before He has moved, is that we need to stay faithful and obedient to Him. And that's the main.
That's the main thing.
It is.
Find and trust that He's got you,
Yeah.
And that's so hard for us being a human. To like fully find and trust. It's tough.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Well, we want to thank you for tuning in to the 11th episode of The Lit Show. Britton, I want to encourage you to take the steps to obey your hearts and minds for God's presence. And if you have any questions, feedback, or you want prayer, please don't hesitate to comment below. We have a support team ready to help you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks.